Hello, welcome. We are at the Eleanor Roosevelt National Historic Site, and I'm here with my colleague, Ranger Kevin. I'm Ranger Fran. We're glad you're joining us because we want to talk about something that was very important in Eleanor Roosevelt's life, an enterprise that she started with some of her women activist friends, Nancy Cook, Marion Dickerman, Caroline O'Day, the Val-Kill Industries, because she wanted to help young people in her community of Hyde Park. This was, back in the 1920s, a farming area, and farmers were struggling. And FDR became very concerned about this situation, mainly because about 100 years ago, in 1920, there was a nationwide census, like there was this year, and it indicated that a lot of young people from the farms were leaving the rural areas and going to the cities in search of employment. And he felt that eventually this would lead to an economic imbalance. He mentioned this a lot to the women, and so they came up with the idea of having a industry here in this farming area of Hyde Park. And that would be the Val-Kill Industries, where they would make furniture. So they built this building, which later became Eleanor Roosevelt's home. She called it a cottage, but obviously it was not a cottage kind of a building. It's very industrial looking. It was actually built in a couple of different stages initially. This section of the building over here was built first, and it was built in 1926, and then in 1929 they built this section of the building as a totally separate building. Downstairs was the woodworking shop, upstairs was the finishing shop. And over time they added more to this building. On this end of the building they added a little bump out when they decided to add pewter products to the Val-Kill Industries. And then in this section of the building they added another little area which became the showroom for the Val-Kill furniture. So we're going to talk about the furniture itself. We're going to go inside where Ranger Kevin will tell you all about the products themselves.
So we're standing inside a Val-Kill cottage, home of Val-Kill Industries, which was a very unique undertaking by Eleanor Roosevelt, Nancy Cook, and Marion Dickerman. The choice of woodworking starts from Nancy Cook's involvement with building prosthetic legs for soldiers returning from World War I. She had drafted most of these beautiful little pieces of furniture as well, including a design she saw on a trip to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, a beautiful little music stand that we have on display here at Val-Kill. They used many different species of wood to build the pieces, mostly hardwoods, cherry, walnut, mahogany, various oak species as well. Most of the pieces were stamped with Val-Kill on them. There were several different designs used, including a very special stamp, which was Eleanor Roosevelt's signature. These particular pieces were either given to friends or close acquaintances of Mrs. Roosevelt's or used specifically here at Val-Kill. But it wasn't just the woodworking here. They also branched out in 1934 to pewter smithing and weaving operations, various textiles, which we'll talk about. So another aspect of Val-Kill Industries were the Pewter Forge that was located here on the property. Initially located in the building, the factory eventually was moved over to the playhouse in later years. These were beautiful little pieces that were made, including small vases, candlesticks, but also included match holders, porringers, notepad holders, and many of these smaller pieces were given to White House staffers as Christmas gifts and often included a small medallion of FDR's head located on the piece there mentioning President of the United States.
The idea behind the Val-Kill Industries was really a great one. Eleanor Roosevelt put her heart and soul into this enterprise. She did the marketing for the Val-Kill Industries at a time when she was certainly very busy with her official duties as First Lady of New York State and then later First Lady of the nation. But the Val-Kill Industries, even though it was a great idea, the Great Depression killed this business. The furniture was expensive. It was very pricey for the average person to afford. A little table like you saw inside would have cost the person about $125, which was really prohibitive during a time when so many people had lost their jobs nationwide. So in the end, Mrs. Roosevelt had to shut down the business after 9 years of operations because she said she ended up being the best customer that Val-Kill Industries ever had.